Marquetta Alligood. I'm enrolled in Bainbridge State College in Bainbridge, Georgia, and I'm working towards a degree in medical laboratory sciences. I work as a phlebotomist at Bainbridge Memorial Hospital, where I've been educated about the effects that proper hygiene has on the chain of infection. Orientation on my first day of work was one of the most memorable opportunities to educate myself on how to prevent the spread of diseases. As someone who is often susceptible to any sickness, I chose to pay close attention throughout the day as my group was given various information on the ways to prevent the spread of illnesses that people come to the hospital to have treated. I'd like to share some of these facts in hopes that we can help prevent the spread of disease. The chain of infection are the steps that need to occur for a person to become sick. The disease must leave its host and be transported through a mode of transmission and enter a susceptible host. There are multiple modes of transmission that can make us sick. One of the most common ways diseases are transferred is through contact. An example of contact would be touching a contaminated grocery cart and then scratching your nose. Another way that the disease could be spread through contact is if you instead touched an apple with your previously contaminated hands as you were taking your pick of the bunch, and another person comes along, picks up one of those apples that you touched, and ate it before washing it. These simple acts can lead to a number of people becoming sick and causing the infection to spread even further. According to Live Science magazine, a person touches their face nearly 4 times in a minute on average. That's 5,184 opportunities to allow a disease-causing organism into your body each day. Another way that disease can be spread is through droplet transmission. Droplets containing microorganisms can be spread through the air whenever a person talks, coughs, or sneezes. An example of droplet spread diseases are the common cold or the flu, something that we've all fallen victim to at one time or another. We can catch the cold by being in the area with a sick person and they cough in our direction. By that person choosing not to cover their cough, they open up the opportunity for the entire room to contract the cold. The last major way that we can contract diseases is through airborne transmission. An example of an airborne disease is tuberculosis, also known as TB. The infection through airborne transmission occurs by breathing in aerosols put in the air from an infected person when they breathe or talk. It's recommended to use an N95 respirator when in the presence of a person sick with TB for that reason. According to OSHA, these aerosol particles are so small that infectious agents can stay suspended in the air for long lengths of time. Microorganisms are found in all types of places. The book Phlebotomy, a competency-based approach, states a fomite is an inanimate object capable of transmitting infectious organisms. Fomites that we often know to protect ourselves from would be toilet seats, hospital bed rails, or even doorknobs. Sometimes a fomite can be something less suspected, such as artificial nails. Artificial nails are a breeding ground for bacteria due to the porous material. A person with artificial nails must be extra careful around those that may be at a greater risk of getting sick, because it's easy to think that washed hands are clean even though something unsuspected can be hiding within them. Some medical facilities may even prevent their employees from working with artificial nails. Jewelry is another potential fomite that can lead to accidental contamination. The small nooks and crannies in a ring can often be incredibly difficult to clean thoroughly. Fomites are everyday objects, and we must constantly be aware that we can get sick or make someone else sick with them. It's best, if you're sick, keep yourself away from others to prevent the spread of it. If that's not possible, wash your hands thoroughly, remove any unnecessary jewelry, and take extra precaution to avoid sharing your germs with others. All of these opportunities for us to contract such a large variety of diseases, we all wonder what we can do to prevent the transmission of them to ourselves or our loved ones. One of the best ways to break the chain of infection is to wash your hands often and thoroughly. Hands are to be washed with warm water and soap with good friction for 30 seconds and then rinse downward to prevent recontamination. When we wash our hands, we're not killing the bacteria on them. We are drying the bacteria off of our skin and rinsing them down the drain. This is why it's important to rinse correctly. When hand washing is not available, hand sanitizer will remove most of the possible infectious agents on your hands. Cleaning your hands effectively with hand sanitizer means making sure that you cover all surfaces of your hands with sanitizer and allowing it to dry completely. This is only effective when your hands are not visibly soiled, and we must be aware that hand sanitizer only kills 99.9% of germs, which means there's a small percentage of organisms that will remain on your skin after cleaning. Colostrum difficile, also known as C. diff, is one of many microorganisms that are not killed by hand sanitizer, according to Boston Magazine. C. diff can cause serious stomach upset along with other symptoms. There are also various kinds of personal protective equipment, PPEs, available in the medical field that can help protect you and prevent the spread of diseases. They are often most effective when you're aware of what types of diseases you'll come across, because knowing how a disease is transmitted allows you to know what PPEs will be most effective in the situation. A few PPEs that are often used are gloves, gowns, and masks, and they protect your skin, hands, and face from exposure to diseases. Another way to protect yourself from diseases is vaccination. Getting vaccinated is an important step in protecting the well-being of yourself and others around you. When you get a flu shot, you are giving your immune system information about the flu and what it takes to prevent it. Teaching your immune system how to defend you from a disease keeps you from getting sick when you're exposed to it. By not being susceptible to the disease, you are less likely to transfer that disease to another person who may not be able to get vaccinated, such as babies or people with certain medical conditions. Hand washing, PPEs, and vaccination are a few simple ways to help break the chain of infection. And when you make the effort to protect yourself, you're also helping to protect your community. Though there are many more ways to contract as well as prevent diseases that I've listed, it's important to stay educated to stay healthy. Taking extra steps to inform yourself on how a disease is transferred can help you understand what types of precautions to take when coming into contact with a sick person. You can prevent becoming a link in the chain of infection by remembering to wash your hands and remove unnecessary jewelry when touching someone who's susceptible to disease. Other ways to avoid spreading disease is to wear proper personal protective equipment and get vaccinated routinely. We all get sick from time to time, but we can help prevent our entire community from contracting as many illnesses by keeping my words in mind. Thank you.